And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Hey everyone and welcome. Well, Ukraine's lies and the media's in the West lies are ramping up. We've seen Boris Johnson claiming Ukraine are winning, as they are battered. You also have seen the media backing him up on everything. Then we see the mass exodus of everyone's military arms to the Ukraine in disastrous amounts, both for the Ukrainian people and for the nation sending all of this money, because it's going to have to be replaced from somewhere, isn't it? Now we have more claims by NATO leaders that we need to send billions of extra cash that I suspect is being laundered. Biden, 33 billion is going to the Ukraine. Bozo had to stick his nose in. 1.6 billion comes from the UK, and the 1.6 billion, everyone, comes from our emergency reserves. So if we have an emergency after this, we won't have anything to protect ourselves with. It's good, isn't it? Globalist wazzocks will be the death of us all, I swear. Well, it seems one globalist has actually taken a truth pill recently, and that is Pope Francis. Now, before you turn off, I'm not praising the Pope. I think he's wrong most of the time. But what's the saying? Even a broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it? I think this is his epiphany day. Listen to what he said about the Ukraine and NATO. It'll shock you that he's saying it. Now, before we get into this, let's have some background. Now, obviously, the media are actually saying that the pontiff has defended Putin and claimed without foundation. There's no foundation for any of these claims, let's not forget, according to the media. And it was others who created the conflicts in Ukraine, as I've said in previous video. So let's have a listen to what he said. Now, since the beginning of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, Pope Francis has floated the idea that he wants to make a trip to Kiev to try to broker a ceasefire. So, sue for peace, basically. Seems to be the only one on that front, but we'll carry on. But now he says he would prefer to go to Moscow to try and talk some sense into Vladimir Putin, who he has not outwardly condemned. I don't see what the difference would be whether he's condemned it or not, to be honest, in the now nearly 3-month-old war, and only did so lightly in a lengthy interview with an Italian newspaper. He said, and are we ready for this? I feel that before going to Kiev, I must go to Moscow, he told a reporter in an interview that ran Tuesday. But the meeting would not exactly be to condemn Putin, based on what he told the paper. He said that the real scandal of Putin's war, are we ready for this, everyone, is NATO barking at Russia's door. So he's put all of the blame in NATO's hands on this one, or should I say most of the blame, which he said had caused the Kremlin to react badly and unleash the conflict. Now, I told you it would shock you. He's gone against the false narrative, hasn't he? That this was unprovoked and laid it all out. NATO's expansion, he said, forced Putin's hand. As I surmised in previous videos, Francis repeated comments he made in general audiences and in other interviews that the war is nothing more than a giant opportunity for a trade in arms, and that it is still ongoing because of the constant shuttling of weapons to the Ukraine and creating more and more misery for the nation of the Ukraine. But we won't talk about just pumping in weapons into a country when they've not got the facilities to, one, be able to use them all, or even to use them adequately. He has spoken twice by phone to Ukrainian President Zelensky, but mostly to urge him not to fight back. Now, at this point, everyone, I have to disagree with him. You can't not fight back if your country's been invaded, but there is a big but. If you're overwhelmed, which it seems the Ukrainian military are, it's futile to throw your men at the enemy and force them to fight to the death. But it seems that that's acceptable warfare nowadays. Allow your soldiers to fight to the death. To a man. He also said this about the industrial military complex, which was quite revealing. He said, I don't know how to answer. I'm too far away. The question of whether it is right to supply the Ukrainians, he told the paper. The clear thing is that weapons are being tested there. The Russians know that tanks are of little use and are thinking of other things. This is why wars are waged, to test the weapons we have produced. Few people are fighting this trade, but more should be done. You cannot think that a free state can make war on another free state, he said. In Ukraine, it seems that it was others who created the conflict. I am pessimistic, but we must do everything possible to stop the war. And I actually agree with him on that. We should be doing everything within our power in regards to diplomacy to get this finished now. But it seems, like he said, that we're more interested in shipping over our latest weapons to show them off on the world stage in actual action. Doesn't it, everyone? Let me know if you think I'm wrong. The Pope then said in a state visit to Rome by Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, he was told the Russians have a plan that everything will end on May the 9th without giving any further explanation. May the 9th is the day Russia celebrates its liberation and the end of World War II. Well, that's gone and passed. So we'll see, but I don't think they've pulled out yet, do you? So maybe the Pope shouldn't do predictions. And the end of World War II. Seems the Pope is the only one, in my honest opinion, of the globalist wazzocks that's prepared to sue for peace in the first place. All of the others are trying their damnedest to make this a long, drawn-out conflict. Seems to be the ultimate excuse for everyone's economies falling apart because of the lurgy. But let me know if you think I'm wrong. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to put the like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share it out. Stay sane, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.